How y'all doing? How am I doing? I'm old. I can't think of anything. Old and hungry. So, sandwich. You got sandwiches?
Help yourself.
Hell, that's more than I get in a month. All right, let's start her off and go at it.
The depth in your backfield with Gus and Robert and then Raheem as a change of pace really was probably almost the best scenario you could have ever envisioned this past week. Is that kind of what you envisioned, just being able to utilize fresh legs and all that?
Yeah, I think a lot of it goes the flow with the game, and I think those guys have a kind of a idea when they get tired, and we got in that area we have some unselfish people. And then you add Blackshear to that mix, and I think we got to continue to get him on the field at different places. And but I just think there's a lot of unselfishness there, and they don't care who gets the ball, and that's just the way Lester's done a great job with them. He's got a really good room, and a bunch of unselfish kids that just want to play and win. So kind of what, I'm used to and Lester's used to.
Jerry, after the last win, you were pretty, critical with Gio and going over the film and trying to get him better. Was it similar this week where he won, but he has a lot where you're going to try and improve before Penn State?
Well, I don't think I was critical. I
think you said something like it's easier to be hard on a guy in film after a win.
That's true. And but a lot of people, Gio really, what everybody thinks and so forth, really played pretty well. He had, 2 or 3 drop balls that he had on him. I wanted him to get upfield on the scrambles when he had to and not run around, and he got up the field and got him 6 or 7, 8 yards. He missed the post route, but after you watch the film, we didn't have a really good explosive post route, and if we did, we would have caught the ball in the dead run. So I think we had some route issues and so forth, but as far as what we did in that game and the reads and things of that nature, he never missed a read, and which is unusual for a quarterback. He didn't get sacked, and that was important. I think we took 5 or 6 sacks the year before. And we ran the ball a lot, and to be honest with you, we probably threw it too damn many times if you're getting 5, 6 yards a pop. But I'm just teasing on that. But we ran a lot of naked boots that were successful, where either he pulled it down and run or threw it. So I would say he did a good job of managing the game. I think he managed the game very well. And does he have to get better? We all got to get better. And will we have to be better, or will we have to throw for more than 100 yards or whatever this particular week? Yeah. You're playing a different style of football team. So, I mean, it's you take what the defense gives you from week to week, and the kids respect him, and he's 3-1. So at the end of the day, you're 3-1, and he's done a good job of getting us there. And we're going to get Jonathan Lewis back this week off the high ankle sprain. And so, that can do some things that can take some pressure, off the run game, But he ran the ball well. But, to take any hits off that he may take in this particular game. So, that's good news. And trying to think of anything else. And the best news we had is it's as good as we played up front since I've been here. I can't tell you last year, but as far as me being here, this is the best we played up front all year as a group, and we really, our kids got rolling, and we moved people off the ball, and we got after it up front, and we won the game because we beat them up front.
Jonathan Lewis, what's it been like the last couple of weeks for him having to sit and watch, and how's his development been, taking a step back?
Well, it's been almost 3 weeks, I think. Maybe you're right, 2 weeks, I can't remember. But what we tried to do, he couldn't do anything the first week. And then I had him, I repped him last week throwing the ball a bunch, just to get him to where we could not lose ground with him, so to speak. And we tried to run him, and he couldn't cut. Yesterday, he cut and did some good things. But I think he probably because of him not being able to run the ball, he improved on throwing the football and really understood his reads and maintained his focus in the meetings. And, a lot of time young players don't do that. But, I tested him out last week to see if he's paying attention, and he was, and he did a nice job with his reads and things. So, you take a negative and you try to make it into a positive. So, I still think he continued to move forward because of that. Plus, he could sit back and see a little bit of how things are, how things are working and what we're saying. You sit back sometimes, you can see it a lot better.
Do you expect to have Janarian back?
I don't know. I mean, that's a question mark every week right now. You do and you don't. So, the best way to do is get your other guys ready to go, and if he's able to play and able to practice, and then it gives us an added dimension. But if not, we go on and play, and he didn't play last week, and we still won a game. So that means Hunter's making progress, and so you do what you do with the personnel you have, and we've got to continue to I think probably get better at the receiver position as far as they're all young that we're playing, and one of them's going to break out here soon, and hopefully it's this week, but they're young guys and they're improving, and, we missed, you look at it, we would have thrown for a lot of yards if we'd hit the post route. That was about a 60-yard plus throw, and we had him beat, and then Jerome, who never drops the ball, dropped the ball, and that was a 30-yard, so, I mean, we had opportunities to have a really, a really dominant game, but we missed those opportunities, and we won't be able to afford to miss those opportunities this week, of course.
You mentioned dominating up front. How much of that was the tight ends helping in blocking? Coach Ash said that they've really developed that aspect of their game since after the bye week. Just what have you seen out of them, and how valuable is it to have tight ends who can provide good blocking in the running game?
Well, people have followed me. I'm probably more like they were back when Ray Rice and you guys ran the ball a bunch, didn't you? I would have, and but I think we surprised them in coming out in what we call 12 personnel with 2 tight ends, and I don't think they were ready for that, and we just did a good job, both tight ends, and actually all 4 of them played. And they did a good job of cutting things off to where we had the backside crease, pretty much, all, most of the evening, But I would say I hate to single anybody out. I just think from tight end to tackle that as far as executing up front, we played well, and hopefully that gives us confidence going into the next game because we'll have to certainly play well at Penn State.
Jerry, it seemed like early on, Gio had a tendency to scramble when he sensed pressure, try to get out of the pocket. And on that last touchdown throw to Gus, he stood in the pocket and took the hit and made the throw. Is that a tendency you've worked on with him, trying to keep him in the pocket to make those throws?
If you ask him, he'd say he spent most of his time, and all our quarterbacks, they didn't leave the pocket. And, we did all kinds of different drill work and stuff to make sure that they hung in there. And if you didn't have it, stay in the center of that thing, and he squirted out for 7 and 8 yards. And I'd like to see him throw the check down a little bit, and we've worked on that yesterday a bunch. But the throw at the end was about as good as football. plays you'll see, and you won't see guys in the NFL make that play because we were in a 5-man protection, and we had to throw hot, and the end coming off the edge, he wasn't. That's the quarterbacks, and he had to get it out quick, and you're going to get hit, and he got it out. And the best part of it is when Gus came, when Gus came around the edge, as soon as he came off the corner, he looked immediately. And that's what you work on all the time, but very rarely do you see it executed like that. And that was a huge play in the game. And so, like I said, we made some plays in that game that we haven't. But like I said, you can watch all the NFL games you want to, and those guys end up on their back, and the ball ends in the ground. So, I mean, that was, a great play by, 2 players. And, if you're not aware of that blitz, you're going to get hit in the back, and you probably won't play the rest of the year. So you better pay attention to the blitz. And he did a great job. He's a smart, his strength right now is being a smart player. He checked a lot, he checked a lot of plays, did a lot of things that people don't understand, and he hadn't played that much. So he'll continue to get better. And at the end of the day, like I said, I'm not a real big stat guy. I'm a real big stat guy on one thing: win or you lose. That's the stats that count. And then the stat that you look at is turnovers. Okay, if you can run the ball, and you don't have minus yards and penalties. We didn't have a lot of minus yards. You start, just like this week. If we're 2nd 15. 2nd 12 against Penn State, then we're going to be a lot of trouble. Against Maryland, we were 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 3. Most of the night, and then when we did get trouble, we made some big plays. And so, but at the end of the day, the only stat that matters is the win and losses, because that's what everybody remembers. And it seems like, I know throughout my career, I know Glenn Mason, when he interviewed me the other day, he said, what did he say? That Coach Kill hasn't lost very many games if you rush over 200 yards. Isn't that what he said? So we rushed over 200 yards, we won the game. All right, so I've kept the theory alive. So we'll see what happens this week. It might be just a tad bit tougher, because I think that Michigan State, who can run the ball, what they rush for 100. They threw for a bunch, though. So we'll have to play very well, and we look forward to the trip and the preparation. So thank you very much. You guys have a great day.